My name is Anuj and I'm from India. I'm very much excited to share my final project for CS50 and the name of the project is MarkIt. So if I like if in short, MarkIt is a YouTube extension which helps you to bookmark timestamps in YouTube videos. So today I will be explaining the code to you and I would be also showing a live demonstration of the extension and how you can use it locally on your machine by cloning the repo from the GitHub. So let's start. When we talk about making a Chrome extension, the main file is a manifest.json file. In this file, it is like a blueprint of the extension. It contains all the properties. For example, the name of the extension. Here I've defined MarkIt, which is the name of my extension. This version stands for, like, you must have seen various websites. When they update their websites, the version gets updated like 3.1, 3.2. So whenever we first upload our extension on the web store, it's the first version. And from there on, whenever we would be upgrading, we would be updating our extension, we would be upgrading this version. The manifest version, the description of the extension, and there are many other properties like action, default, title, content scripts, about which we would be talking in the later video. Then, so let me quickly show you the extension. This is how the extension looks like. Now the pop-up, the HTML which you are seeing with the UI which you are seeing is written in the popup.html, and the interactiveness which we would be doing, like clicking on this button, adding the timestamp, seeing the timestamps, the code for that is written in the popup.js file. Now, as I told you, in like the manifest.json file is the blueprint of the extension. So we have to define all the files. Like here, I've written default popup is the popup.html file. Then I've defined various other files as well, which are the service worker and the content script. I would be explaining them later in the video. Also, in the manifest.json file, we define some permissions which we would be using so that our extension can work very much smoothly, like the active tab permission, storage tab permission, which is, of course, in my case, is very much important to store the timestamps for every video. Then tabs, like accessing the tab of the URL, refreshing the URL, and scripting so that we can access and manipulate the DOM. So first of all, we are pretty much aware with the popup.html and popup.js file, which is this stuff which you are seeing the extension. Now let's see the live demonstration of the extension, and I would be also explaining the code to you, and I would be giving you an overview. So as this video is open, here is the extension. Let's play the video and add a timestamp. Now I have added a timestamp for 0.01 seconds. That is start. Let's continue playing the video somewhere here, and I would add another timestamp here which says LeBron scores. So if you see again, the timestamp has been added at the 111 111 time. Now let me tell you how this code is working. So when I click the extension icon, each time I click the extension icon, the data is fetched from the storage. Initially, when there is nothing, we won't be able to see anything here. The moment I click on this my extension icon, the background code which I have written takes the timestamp. The moment when I click, it reads the timestamp of the video. Now, as I told, I have two more files apart from popup.js, and those are, one is the content script and another is the service worker. So let me tell you an overview of what these files are. Content script is it is a script which runs in the context of web page. For example, there are two contexts here when we are using the extension. One is the pop-up extension which we are seeing, and another is the web page on which we are executing our functions, or like for which we are using the extension. In this case, content script is the script which runs in the context of web page. Why this script is important? This is the script which enables us to manipulate the DOM. This gives us the access of the web page. For example, I told you when I click the extension, it reads the timestamp from here. If you inspect this page, you can see that the timestamp is present here, ytp.time.current. So how I can access this? I cannot access this using the popup.js file. This thing, like manipulating the DOM, accessing the parts of DOM, this thing is done in the content script.js file. If I now, okay, so now let me show you the flow of the code. When I add a timestamp here, I send a message from the popup.js file. Let me show you the message. Okay, so this is the message. I have added an event listener for the popup.js file. This is the first message where I'm sending. It says that chrome.tabs.send message request timestamp. This message goes to the content script. The content script reads the timestamp on which the extension was clicked. Then this content script reads the timestamp, and then it sends the timestamp to another file. Now the last file is that service worker. What the service worker does? Service worker is a separate script which runs in the background. There are many tasks which you want to do parallelly to the popup.js, like fetching the data from the storage which you have added, adding the data from the storage. All these tasks are done by the service worker, and like they help in the smooth working of the extension. In this case, what service worker is doing, as I told you, popup.html sends the request, content.script, content script.js takes the timestamp from the DOM, it forwards it to the service worker. Service worker is the one which stores the timestamp in the sync storage, in the Chrome's sync storage. In this project, instead of local storage, I have used sync storage. What's the benefits of sync storage? Like for example, if I duplicate this tab, uh, just a minute. The tab where I had saved some timestamps, if I duplicate it, I would be also able to visit or see the timestamps in the other video as well. Now, the timestamp is received by the service worker, and you can see here, after doing some calculations to convert the time in seconds, I have set chrome.storage.sync.set, which sets the timestamp along with the note which we are defining. Like while saving the timestamp, we can always define a note. Like so this note is also saved. This timestamp is also saved in the and the this is the flow of storing the um, data in the sync storage as an object timestamp along with its timestamp. The key is note input along with the input, and the time seconds in seconds. Now let us understand another features. There is another feature which is going to the timestamp which we had done. Now the video is running on 22 seconds. If I click on this, the video goes to the uh, timestamp which we had saved in our timestamp. How this is working? While storing the timestamp, I have saved the time in seconds, and when I click the uh, toggle button here, it requests the service worker to take the seconds from the storage for this particular video for the particular timestamp. Then it adds the URL and the, like, you must be aware that whenever we a specific video of YouTube has its URL, and when you If you want to play it from a specific timestamp, you can add and t equals to, for example, 26 seconds. So the video would be played at 26 seconds. This is the concept which I have used for using my extension. When I click here, a request goes and it is written here and t equals to 1 seconds. So this is how this feature is working. The last feature is the delete feature, which is like you can delete the timestamp which you have created. If I click on delete and refresh it, like again load the pop-up, the timestamp is deleted. How this is working? It's pretty much simple. When I click on the delete button on the popup.ui, it has the like every element, every timestamp has an index number. This index number from popup.js is sent to the service worker. The service worker has a listener which states delete timestamp. From here, I use the index to delete the timestamp. You can see here chrome.storage.sync.set. First, I get the data. From that, I delete the specific indexed data, and again, I set the storage to its normal form. So this is my simple project. Also, at last, I would like to show you the data which is being stored in the sync storage form. So this can be seen on the service worker. Let's see chrome.storage.sync and this. So this is the format of the storage which I've used. I've created a like the data by default gets stored in a object that is in key value pair. The first key is videos and the value is again an object which contains different URLs of the video. Every URL is a key and it has a value which has a object of timestamp val key, and that key has a array. In that array, there are different objects of timestamps. For example, on the NBA match video, I had created different timestamps like match starts, LeBron scores. This is the note input. This is the time in seconds which I can use to add to the URL and toggle to a different part. And this is the timestamp use. So this was my project talking about how you can use it on a local machine. You just have to download or clone the repository from my GitHub. The link would be given in the description. Then you have to click here, load unpacked, and upload the file. It's it's very simple. Once you upload, it would be visible here, and you can go to your YouTube page and you can access this. Also, another feature of this extension, when you are not on a YouTube video page and you click on the extension, you would see a not a YouTube video. So that's all for my CS50's final project. Thank you.